It is my pleasure to just invite you here today for this ribbon cutting, for this announcement. I'm Steve Davis, founder of the Will Group. We started our company. I was an ambitious, young, broken-down football player in the early 1980s with an idea that I could come to this mecca called Chicago, the greatest city in the world. It has the greatest system of higher education. It's got this great body of water, great transportation infrastructure. And by the way, it snowed more in Florida than it has in Chicago, so the weather's getting better. So this has been my home. We had the great fortune of starting our own business. Somehow I just thought that I could bring manufacturers together with customers, and that we could bring products, and we can bring it to a community that actually have impact. I believe that if you really want to change a community, you need to bring opportunities. That if you care about gun violence, you have to care about reduction in unemployment. And with the help of a lot of great people here, and I will miss somebody, so please blame it on my head and not my heart. You know, our partnership started with the city of Chicago. We were supplying and building light fixtures. We built almost 500,000 light fixtures on the west side of Chicago. Somebody said, does anything good come out of the west side? Absolutely they can. We started with this idea of buying some land that hadn't been on the tax rolls for 30 years. Ambassador Emanuel and I met, and the alderman of the great 24th Ward, and we met and came together with a plan and built a 60,000 square feet building. Fast forward to today, we've invested nearly $25 million in this community with the help of great customers like all of you here. ComEd, John, thank you for your support. Just so many. I'm going to miss somebody, but thank you, because we could not have done it without you. I thank you for the governor's office. I'm grateful for the mayor's office. You know, there's a grant that they've awarded us. We're working hard to do great things here. Without the mayor's help, we could not do it. Without the alderman's help, we could not do it. Governor, you gave us $500,000 grant to do that building. Thank you so much. We appreciate that. Again, I want to end, but before I end, I have to start with thanking my beautiful wife of nearly 40 years. We raised 8 children, and you know, I saw Wisconsin farmers had a lot of children so they can put them on the farm. I had a bunch of kids so we can put them into business, and they've done a great job. So it's nothing more pleasurable than to come to work with great people, and the people of the Will Group. I would go to battle with our employees with anybody in the world. They're that good, right out of North Lawndale. But to get to come to work every day with your kids, it's kind of more than you can ever dream. To have a lunch with my daughter who's pregnant with twins, with Rick Snyder from Abbott, and talk about how we're going to grow the business for the next generation. Those are things that really important. But again, this could not happen without the great help, the private-public partnerships between private industry, stupid entrepreneurs like myself, and great government. Again, I know we argue a lot, how big should government be? I think a lot of people think it should be small, but every now and then, like the 13th Amendment, like the Brown versus the Board of Education, the Civil Rights Movement, the Voting Rights Act, government has to stand up tall. And every now and then, and doing something good in a community like this, government needs to stand up. Governor, thank you for standing up. We appreciate it. Governor JB Pritzker.
Yeah. Did you say something about the government needing to be big enough to, or the governor being big enough to? Okay, just checking. Good morning, everyone. It really is a great day. Small businesses are the lifeblood of our economy and are the bulwarks of the future of success for the state of Illinois. Capital for growing or jump-starting small businesses is often very hard to come by. And we're here today to, well, launch a $10 million round of funding that's being made available to startups and small businesses, continuing my administration's focus on economic growth and jobs, and of course to celebrate the growth of, well, the business we're standing in today, which has been a tremendous thing to watch grow during my time in office and of course long before I showed up. So we're really very proud of the work that you've done here, Steve, and your family for the west side of Chicago. I want to take a moment just broadly to thank the Will Group, because there are a lot of people beyond the family who deserve our support, our respect for the work that's been done. I mentioned Steve, of course, Joshua Davis, Jessica Ashley Garman. I want to congratulate them on the expansion of this incredible facility, adding to your now 40-year legacy as a cornerstone of the business landscape for the west side of Chicago. So thank you again for hosting us today, for your commitment to this neighborhood and this great city and this great state. Also with us are two generations of Chicago mayors. I don't know how else to say it. Of course, the current great mayor and His Excellency, as we now need to refer to Rahm Emanuel. Our Illinois Department of Commerce Director, Kristen Richards, along with Alderwoman Monique Scott and Commissioner Michael Scott. None of this support for small businesses could happen also without my friends in the General Assembly who vote to make this possible. So I want to just respect them and recognize that everything that we do in Springfield is a partnership of interest to make sure that we're growing the great economy of our great state. Small businesses have been at the center of our state's vision for economic growth and jobs since I took office. In communities across Illinois, they're anchoring downtowns and commercial districts, providing vital goods and services, playing an integral role in supply chains, and bolstering the strength and diversity of our economy. But even more than that, small businesses define the character of our communities. They're owned and operated by our neighbors. They share our values and traditions. Small businesses often provide the cohesion and pride for the residents. Look no further than this company. They're an integral part of the fabric of this neighborhood, and once again, I think everybody that knows the work that's been done here feels a great pride in what's been done for the West Side. Just a few short years ago, the state of Illinois supported them with funding from a program just like this, which they used to invest in these facilities and make improvements that benefited both employees and the wider community. The Will Group provides a sterling example of what can be achieved when we provide a little help to budding entrepreneurs, not dumb entrepreneurs, I might add. You've got to be willing to get in the arena, as Theodore Roosevelt said, right? And get dirty in the arena. Entrepreneurs are the ones who take the risk. They're on the front edge of growth for all of us. So there is real potential for the future of the state of Illinois because of entrepreneurs everywhere in our state. I've talked with owners and employees, and I've heard firsthand about the challenges that they face finding capital to support their early years or the capital to invest in growth to achieve the next milestone they need to reach. These state grants are about providing the breathing room for local enterprises to invest in their vision. Equity is the cornerstone of this grant program. I want to repeat that in this moment. Equity is the cornerstone of this grant program. It's designed to level the playing field for businesses located in historically underserved communities, especially businesses owned by people of color, women, and other historically underrepresented populations. The program also prioritizes capital for very small businesses, those with 10 employees or less. This approach helps ensure that our dollars do the most good for those that need it the most and contribute to economic equity and community revitalization in the process. Small business capital and infrastructure grants assist qualified businesses across the state to build capacity, from facility improvements to property acquisitions to equipment upgrades. For these businesses, that means a greater scale of operations, a wider reach into new markets, and increases in efficiency and revenues. For communities, this means more quality jobs, more economic activity, more overall investment. What's good for small businesses is good for everyone in the state of Illinois. We have over $10 million in grant funding available in this round, and I want to encourage small business owners that can hear this across our state to learn more and apply through the Illinois DCEO website. So go to dceo.illinois.gov. We want to uplift the hard work and the ambition and the creativity of Illinois small businesses and entrepreneurs, and I hope that small businesses will take advantage of this opportunity and the many opportunities that will come. With that, I want to hand this podium over to my partner in economic revitalization for the state of Illinois, our great Lieutenant Governor, Juliana Stratton.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Governor, for your warm words and your bold leadership. It's always an honor to serve by your side. And thank you to Steve Davis, Joshua Davis, Jessica Ashley Garman, and everyone at the Will Group for hosting us this chilly morning. And congratulations on your beautiful new space and the lives that will be transformed because of it. In the interest of time, I will echo everyone's appreciation for the passion that goes into uplifting our small businesses every day. To Director Richards and the team at DCEO, our partners in the General Assembly, my fellow elected officials, and every community member with us this morning, thank you for keeping small businesses at the heart of our economic vision. You know, we say that Illinois is the middle of everything because when it comes to the U.S. economy, we hold an invaluable position. We capture the interest of global businesses with our uniquely central location. We foster multi-generational partnerships with our world-class infrastructure, workforce, and leadership in almost every industry imaginable. But that magic doesn't happen overnight. It starts in smaller communities like K-Town, in the dreams of visionary entrepreneurs with an idea. When small businesses open, so do huge possibilities. Jobs are created, families are stabilized, the local economy is energized, and entire communities take pride in the places and spaces they call home. A sense of belonging takes root underneath small businesses and slowly winds its way through city centers, creating light to draw people in. That is how we lay a foundation on which people want to build together. Small businesses like the Will Group and others who benefit from these grants help shape our collective vision of home. Centering these grants in equity is essential to ensure the awarded dollars benefit the whole of Illinois. As I've listened to small business owners across our great state, in rural, urban, and suburban areas alike, one of the most common things that I hear from them is a profound need for access to capital. And this is especially true for entrepreneurs who are Black, Latino, AAPI, women, veterans, people with disabilities, and other underserved communities. That is why grants like the ones we celebrate today are so important, because they are created with very real people in mind. As we speak, there are those wielding great power with the intent to divide, exclude, and erase the contributions of our diverse communities. But here in Illinois, we know our businesses need to be as diverse as our communities. They need to reflect the hopes and goals of all Illinoisans, which means our people need access to the support that starts businesses in the first place. Like the governor said, we have more than $10 million in grant funding to disperse, and I want every business owner, especially those who have felt previously left out or left behind, to apply through the Illinois DCEO website. Go to dceo.illinois.gov to start your application and join us as we continue to make Illinois the best state in the nation to thrive. And with that, I'll pass it over to a true champion for equitable economic opportunities, DCEO's Director, Kristen Richards.
Thank you, Lieutenant Governor Stratton, for that introduction. Good morning. My name is Kristen Richards, and I am the Director of the Illinois Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity, or DCEO. I'm happy to be here today to announce that DCEO launched a new $10 million small business capital and infrastructure grant program for businesses across the state. Now, DCEO exists to create equitable economic development opportunities for all Illinoisans, and we do that by administering thousands of programs and grants that open doors for businesses and create good-paying jobs. I also want to thank Governor Pritzker, Lieutenant Governor Stratton, and members of the Illinois General Assembly for continuing year after year to give DCEO the tools that we need to drive resources into our communities, invest in our employers, and invest in our world-class workforce. Together, we are reinforcing why Illinois is the very best place to live, work, and do business. I want to thank the Will Group for their investment that used DCEO funding to support this facility and create and retain more than 60 jobs. What you have built and your solutions-oriented approach to serving your customers is truly an inspiration for entrepreneurs across Illinois. Now, that funding round also funded popular Chicago businesses like the 40 Acres Fresh Market in Chicago's Austin neighborhood, keeping them at the forefront of Chicago's healthy food access movement. It funded Antigua Construction, who is using program funding to purchase and rehabilitate a building that will allow them to continue their 20-year legacy of serving customers in the Chicagoland area. I want to thank my colleagues in the Office of Economic Equity and Empowerment, led by the remarkable Rebecca Estrada, for creating good public policies. That's right. Thank you, guys. For creating these good public policies like the program we're announcing today. And to all small businesses who are interested in applying, DCEO has teams of professionals who will ensure you have access to information you need to participate in state funding opportunities. The DCEO team is conducting extensive outreach, and whether through this program or the many, many other programs we administer, it is our goal to make sure that all current and future small business owners have the tools that you need to succeed. Thank you, and with that, it is my honor to introduce His Excellency, Rahm Emanuel.
I want to be really clear, while being ambassador, you get called Your Excellency. The only people I require to do that are my family members, since nobody after that moment ever listens. Now, back in 2018 on Harrison Street, there were 20 ex-offenders, and there was a guy with a big dream. I think the factory was the size of one of these little blocks here. 20 ex-offenders and an alderman who had also a crazy idea. And we decided we were going to build the largest LED light program in the United States, save the taxpayers hundreds of millions of dollars, and put people to work. Boy, have you grown up. It is unbelievable. Now, a lot of people would have taken us out for a drug test when we were set back there in 2018. Now, I also want to say one other thing. I left 3 years ago to represent the United States in Japan. When we opened up the other facility, Jessica was pregnant. I come back 3 years, 2 days, new factory, Jessica's pregnant. I don't know, anything happening in Chicago or Illinois I gotta know, because it seems to go, a lot of people travel a lot of miles, but don't go very far. Congratulations, Deb. And I also want to echo something the governor said. I think it's really important. Diversity, equity, and inclusion are now becoming bad words. It's not an office in a corporation that moves paper around. This, if you don't know what diversity, equity, and inclusion is, come out here to North Lawndale. That's what it looks like. That's what 70 people who didn't used to have a job now have a job. That's what a neighborhood that didn't know what hope was now knows what hope is. That is what diversity, equity, inclusion looks like. It's right here in North Lawndale. When the Davis family was facing 40 miles an hour headwind, I had my doubts. I had my questions. I had my suspicions. Somebody who didn't give in, didn't give up, didn't take no for an answer, looked head into that wind, faced it straight on, knew how many people were literally asking, begging him to succeed. He didn't give in. He didn't throw the towel down. He could have done this factory anywhere. But a state, a city, a community, employees believed in him. Today, 7 years later, 5 kids later, you got 2 major factories, a lot different than 4,000 square feet on Harrison Street. Fortune 100 companies like Abbott that believe in you. A community that's starting to see green shoots pop up where everybody else had said, not there, not then, can't happen, not that zip code. This, my dear friends, is diversity, equity, inclusion at work. And don't ever take negativity as an answer. And somebody that knows and believes in that and is a partner in making sure, because every one of us run a race and hand the baton off, is Mayor Johnson, who also understands that here in the West Side there are good people, good families. This jobs and this employment will not only help the city budget, it will help family budgets. And that's what we never give in on, because we're from Chicago, we're from Illinois. Come see it work. Mayor Johnson.
Thank you. I know the ambassador, Mayor Rahm Emanuel, dreamed that one day he'll be able to introduce a mayor. And today is living testament, Mr. Mayor, that dreams really do come true. So well done, and thank you for your leadership and service. And good morning to everyone, and welcome to the best side of town, the West Side. I am, grateful that there are so many partners in government that have made this dream become a reality. Grateful for the alder of the 24th Ward, Monique Scott. Thank you for being here. And then to show how collaborative my administration is, we have given David Moore a pass to come hang out with us on the West Side, South Side, Inglewood. Alderman David Moore, thank you for being here. Really honored that we're all joined together today to celebrate this grand opening, phase 2 of the K-Town Business Epicenter. Steve, you give me so much confidence as someone who is raising a young family. The fact that your children want to be seen with you in public gives me tremendous hope that one day my children will too want to be seen with me in public. But the phase 1 that was opened in 2021, the Will Group development team transformed and revitalized 3.3 acres right here in North Lawndale. This lot was sitting vacant for decades, and now look at us now. But that vacant plots of land on our south and west sides are a painful reminder of our past, however. It's a reminder of a city government that did not always invest and prioritize and believe in predominantly black and brown neighborhoods. But the Will Group reclaimed that vacant space, and they saw the potential in the plot and the land, but they also saw the promise of the residents of the West Side. And so did the city of Chicago, which was proud to support phase 1 with a $4 million funding to help build this manufacturing epicenter that ultimately is not just creating jobs, but has provided economic vibrancy on the beloved West Side. And I'm glad to reaffirm the city's support of the K-Town Business Center by celebrating this grand opening today and by providing $2 million in financial incentives for phase 2. If I was a real good politician, I would have just ended my speech right there. But just for a few more moments, indulge me. You know, with this phase, the Will Group is expanding the K-Town Business Center with an additional 70,000 square feet to enhance its operations right here. That translates into more job opportunities and more economic growth, not just for this immediate community, but surrounding communities. This expansion also advances our city's innovation ecosystem, as well as our manufacturing industry. Chicago has been known as the city that works, in part because we are proud to be the home of the largest, or one of the largest manufacturing industries in the entire country. We are glad to be a global hub for innovation, with 24 corporate innovation centers and the second largest number of Fortune 500 companies that are headquartered right here in the city of Chicago. And with the K-Town Business Center, we ensure that all of Chicago's residents from every single neighborhood can reap the benefits of the collective strength of the city of Chicago. Investments such as these are how we will begin to reverse the effects of disinvestment on the West Side. Having access to job opportunities and seeing development occurring in our neighborhoods, it breathes life and hope into our communities. This is how we build a better, stronger, safer Chicago and more inclusive economy for everyone. My administration is committed to investing on the South and West Side communities so that they can have the abundance of job opportunities, economic activity, and development. And one of the ways in which we have done this has been through my administration's $1.25 billion Housing and Economic Development Investment Bond. It's the largest of its kind in the history of Chicago. We have already utilized that bond investment to open up a health wellness hub in Austin, my neighborhood, a community farm in West Englewood. And just this week, we issued 14 community development grant awards with a total of $30 million in funding to develop educational, cultural, health, and wellness spaces across the city. And of course, there is more to be done. But I do want to thank the Will Group for their commitment to Chicago and especially their commitment to the West Side. We are tremendously blessed to have the Will Group's impact and its headquarters right here in the city. And finally, as one of Chicago's and nation's largest Black-owned businesses, they know what it means to make transformations in the communities that need love. My father would often talk about how, as children, it was 10 of us, Steve, that we knew the price, but we didn't know the value. And I always thought he said that because he was just a stingy person. What he was ultimately quoting were the words of Jesus the Christ, that where your treasure is, Matthew 6:21, there your heart has to be also. And the Will Groups, clearly your treasure and your heart is aligned with the people of Chicago. So I want to express my gratitude for everyone, particularly the state of Illinois, Governor JB Pritzker, and the General Assembly for their support of the K-Town Business Center and the economic growth on the west side of Chicago. We look forward to the continuous work that we will do together in a collaborative approach. Truly, Mayor Emanuel and I are true examples that even competitors can come together to build a better, stronger, safer Chicago. God bless you all, and I'm going to do it with not too much vulgarity. God bless the greatest freaking city in the world, City of Chicago. Thank you all. We ready to cut the ribbon? All right, let's do it. Are we doing it in front of the podium or behind it? In front, all right.
Give me instructions. Just tell me what to do.
Keep your fingers away from the scissors.
I know. This is pretty good advice. You want to pick up on more time.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
No, one more time.
You come get your father, please.
Some of us gotta breathe.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.